It's time now for Fort Stockton High School Panther Baseball on KFST, AM and FM, KFSTradio.com, and KFST's YouTube page. Panther Baseball being brought to you by Alamo Tire and Auto Repair, NG Miles at Turnkey Realty, Airlawn Furniture, Appliance, and Outdoor, Amistad Motors, Bienvenidos Mexican Food Restaurant, Big Ben Concrete, RA Radiance Med Spa, Bucks Loop Center, Cactus Health Services, Citibank, Concept Inc., Contessa Ready Mix, CTG Express, Designer Carpets and Interiors, First National Bank, Fort Stockton ISD, Fort Stockton Insurance Agency, the Guadalajara Mexican Grill, Heritage Funeral Home, Hernandez Sanitation, Joe's Place and Cantina, Julie's Easy Press, K-Bob Steakhouse, M&J Trucking, by M&J Fast Loop, Pecos County State Bank, Permian Basin Abstract, Ram Country of Fort Stockton, Salceda Family Medicine and Urgent Care, Sawyer Insurance Agency, the Steakhouse Restaurant, Triple G Oilfield Supply, West Texas Eye Care, and by Weiss Tire Pros. Now stay tuned for Panther Baseball.
And good evening, everyone. This is Ken Ripley. We're live from the Andrews High School baseball field tonight, and we're going to have Panther Baseball versus the Andrews Mustangs in District 3 4A baseball. And the Panthers need a big win. The Panthers are 3-4 in district play. Andrews shares the lead in the district. It's a three-way tie for the lead between Greenwood, Seminole, and Andrews. Fort Stockton 2 games back at 3-4 and in fourth place. And Pecos is at 2-5 in fifth, and Monaghan's at 1-6. So a big game tonight for the Panthers and the Mustangs. And the players are being introduced right now at Mustang Field. So we'll be back in a moment. We've got the start of tonight's game coming up from Andrews.
Have you tried the delicious Jalisco-style Mexican food at the Guadalajara Mexican Grill recently? Their food and service is fast and top-notch. Plus, they're now offering some additions to their huge menu, including the carnitas plate and the fantastic molcajete with beef, chicken, and shrimp. They also now have delicious chicken wings spiced with mango, habanero, buffalo, or barbecue. Top it off with your favorite adult beverages and drinks and desserts. They also have daily specials, and you can dine in or call in orders at 336-6600. The Guadalajara Mexican Grill, 200 East 19th on the Imperial Highway.
If you or your spouse have been thinking about pre-planning your funerals, Heritage Funeral Home of the Big Ben has some very important news. Now is the best time to plan for your eternity and take the financial burden off your loved ones. If you already have a plan, let them review it with you. At Heritage Funeral Home of the Big Ben, they'll work with you so that your final requests are personalized just for you. Call or come by today at 301 North Main or message them on Facebook.
Hernandez Sanitation in Fort Stockton proudly serves a large portion of West Texas with sanitation services, including the oil field. For portable toilets, holding tanks, septic tank service, grease trap service, or large roll-off trash containers, contact Hernandez Sanitation today by calling owner and operator Joe Angel Hernandez at 432-336-3803. Hernandez Sanitation, a proud member of the Fort Stockton community, always supporting all the athletic and extracurricular activities in Fort Stockton schools. Always a good time at Joe's Place Cantina, located in historic downtown behind the Community Theater at 216 West 1st. Enjoy their tacos, tortas, and more, served in 3 areas, including a covered patio and backyard, while listening to a wide variety of music or watching the big game, including Fort Stockton Panther games. Go Blue! Joe's Place is open Wednesdays from 8 to 12, Thursdays through Saturday from 6 to 1, with family time and happy hour only from 6 to 8 p.m. Be sure to look at their Facebook page for upcoming events and information.
Julie's Easy Press Cleaners is ready to serve you with all your laundry cleaning needs. From drop-off to pickup, you'll enjoy not having to do the washing, drying, or pressing. It's done for you. Whether it's a party, office meeting, or lunch with friends, show up dressed for success. Because at Julie's Easy Press, they know when you look good, you feel good. Julie's Easy Press, 1101 North Front Street, or call 336-6601. Hey, Fort Stockton. Hungry for a deal that satisfies every craving? K-Bob Steakhouse has you covered with a 2 for $20 meal deal. That's right, choose a starter like crispy potato skins, cheesy quesadilla or zesty fried pickles, and pair it with an entree. The juicy 6-ounce sirloin, crispy catfish platter, or maybe the hearty chicken fried steak. The choice is yours. Your entree also comes with your choice of sides, baked potato fries, or green beans, all for $20. So grab your friends, family, or come solo and treat yourself at K-Bob Steakhouse in Fort Stockton. Come by today. M&J Trucking Services supports our Fort Stockton Panther and Prowler athletic teams and wants you to know that there's a locally owned and operated oilfield trucking company that can handle your vacuum truck and water hauling in the surrounding area. It's M&J Trucking in Fort Stockton, offering 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week vacuum truck and water hauling service. Contact M&J Trucking today at 290-4510. M&J Trucking, owned and operated by Martine Ibarra, proudly supporting the Fort Stockton Panthers and Prowlers. Need a quick, efficient oil change? M&J Fast Lube at 116 West Dickinson is here to serve you. Martine and Julia Ibarra invite you to stop by. They have great service, and they offer auto oil and lube services with the top major oil brands. They also offer state inspections and vehicle washing and cleaning, or you can get your vehicle completely detailed. It'll look like you just bought it. That's M&J Fast Lube, 116 West Dickinson, supporting Panther and Prowler sports. Go Blue! The Pecos County State Bank has been serving Fort Stockton, Pecos County, and the surrounding area since 1926 with local, customer-friendly banking services. They also have branches in Sanderson, Sierra Blanca, and Van Horn. The Pecos County State Bank is proud to support the Fort Stockton Panther and Prowler sports teams by sponsoring sports broadcasts on KFST and sponsoring video streaming services with the radio broadcast on YouTube. Go Panthers and Prowlers from the Pecos County State Bank, all the bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
And speaking of Pecos County State Bank, they are a sponsor of our live streaming on YouTube. They're providing our streaming services for video services on our YouTube page. We're broadcasting live tonight on KFST AM 860, KFST FM 94.3, and on our website, KFSTradio.com, and on our YouTube page, KFST AM FM. Okay, the Panthers getting ready for this big game with the Andrews Mustangs tonight. We did get a final score on our Fort Stockton softball team. The Prowlers lost tonight by a score of 7-1 to the Andrews Lady Mustangs. And so Fort Stockton falls to 3-6 in district play, and Andrews improves to 7-2. Andrews, the first place team in the district, and they certainly do look like a very formidable team in our district, and they beat the Prowlers tonight 7-1. Still waiting on that Greenwood-Pecos score. Now, Greenwood was leading Pecos in softball 8-3 after 5 innings, and if Greenwood goes on to win, that would eliminate the Prowlers from the playoffs, because Prowlers only have one district game remaining on Tuesday at home against Greenwood. And Greenwood will have to lose tonight for the Prowlers to have any chance at the playoffs. All right, let's take a look at our lineup. We've got Zane Natividad stepping up first for the Panthers, and he's batting first. He's the shortstop. He's a senior. Gama Corral batting second. He's the second baseman. He's also a senior. Rylan Nunez is batting third. He's the center fielder. He's also a senior. Gerardo Diaz batting fourth, and he's our first baseman tonight. He's a junior. Brian Encinas is our DH. He's batting fifth. He's a senior. And here's the first pitch. That one outside to Natividad, and it's 1-0. Michael Patino is our catcher tonight, and Encinas batting for Patino, who is a freshman. And then Nick Almendares, I believe, is playing at third base tonight. Aiden Villarreal is our pitcher, and he's batting seventh. Nick Sotelo, the eighth batter, playing in left field, and John Ray Reyes is our ninth batter, playing in right field. 1-1 the count. That one is fouled out. Count goes to 1-2 on Natividad on an M&J Fast Lube foul ball. We're at Mustang Field tonight, facing Andrews. And by the way, the pitcher for the Mustangs is Cade Adams. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Zane Natividad. First batter up for the Panthers. That's way up high. And it's 2-2 on Natividad with Gama Corral on deck. And our subs tonight, Kyle Rojero, a senior. Aiden Hernandez, a freshman, and Alonzo Urias, a junior. 2-2 the count. And here's the throw. That's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Center fielder is under it. He was playing fairly shallow, and he will catch that for out number 1. Perfectly placed there. Jashawn Dubose, their center fielder, is right in the middle of the A for Andrews out there in center field, and It would have had to be really deep to get by him, but he was placed just perfectly there in center field. All right, so here's Gama Corral stepping up to the plate now, the Panther second baseman. He's a senior. And here's the pitch. That's a check swing. It is a strike called. It's 0-1 on Corral. Beautiful evening here in Andrews, about 90 degrees. And here's the pitch. That's strike number 2. Caught the outside low corner. That was a beautiful pitch from Adams. And it's 0-2 on Corral. Rylan Nunez on deck for the Panthers. All right, here's Adams with the next pitch. And he struck him out on 3 strikes. My goodness. Those last 2 pitches were very wicked from Cade Adams. He caught the low outside corner on both of those. Just really beautiful pitches on those last 2. Rylan Nunez now steps to the plate, and he's the center fielder. I believe Seminole defeated Andrews 1-0 in their previous ball game, and that tied up the district standings. 3 teams tied for first at 5-2. Ball 1 on Nunez. And that's Greenwood, Seminole, and Andrews all tied at 5-2 for the lead in the district. And now here's the throw from Adams. It's a strike. I believe it's 1-1. The umpire signaled that it was the second strike, but I don't think that's correct. There's a swing and a miss. That is strike 2, okay. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nunez with Gerardo Diaz, Jerry Diaz on deck. 2 outs already here in the top of the first inning on a fly out to center and strikeout. Here's a ground ball picked up by the third baseman, and he throws it over to first base in time for the third out, and that's 3 up and 3 down on the Panthers here in the top of the first. We go to the bottom of the first with no score, and Andrews coming to bat. We'll be back in a moment.
Permian Basin Abstract Company is located at 600 West Dickinson and is available to handle all your real estate closings. They have a full-service title company and are experts at handling all the tricky parts of title work. Great customer service is their #1 goal with local manager Penny McKnight. Permian Basin Abstract has locations in Andrews, Seminole, Pecos, and the local office in Fort Stockton to serve all area West Texas counties and have all records available. Call 432-336-3301 or go by Permian Basin Abstract, corner of Monahans Highway and Dickinson Boulevard.
At Ram Country Fort Stockton, we have master certified techs, extended service hours, huge service capacity for your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It all adds up to same-day service. Get it fixed right. Get it fixed quick. Ram Country's got a huge inventory of parts and certified technicians to get you back on the road. No games, no gimmicks, just same-day service. Plus, no wait time, no appointment necessary. Drive out today or visit RamCountryFortStockton.com.
If you're needing personal attention to your medical needs, visit Salceda Urgent Care and Family Medicine in Fort Stockton at 703 North Main. They can help with life's little urgencies that cannot wait for an appointment. They provide urgent care, hormone optimization for men and women, vitamin supplements, family medicine, chronic care for all ages, including cholesterol treatment, blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid optimization, and treat many other conditions. Call for appointments 360-3029. Walk-ins are welcome at 703 North Main.
All right, we're back, and it's going to be Dalen Jeffcoats stepping up for Andrews first. He's their first baseman. Our pitcher tonight is Aiden Villarreal for the Panthers. He is a senior. Here's the throw. A little bit low. Umpire didn't like it, and it's 1-0. Jashawn Dubose on deck. 1-0 to Jeffcoats. That pitch is strike 1. Caught the outside corner. The umpire tonight likes the outside pitches, outside the strike zone, or on the edge of it, I would say, to the outside. Here's a pop-up on the infield, but I believe this is going to be in the stands right here in front of me. That's a foul ball by Andrews, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on the leadoff batter, Dalen Jeffcoats. Our Prowlers defeated tonight by the Andrews Lady Mustangs by a score of 7-1. That pitch is up high. 2-2 on Jeffcoats. And we're still waiting on that Greenwood score tonight. We'll see, check here and see if that is a final. No, apparently not yet. That's a base hit into left field. It gets over the head of the left fielder for the Panthers, and that will be a double. It's over the head of Nick Sotelo as Nick jumped up for it but couldn't make the catch. That's a double. A leadoff double for Jeff Coates for the Mustangs. All right, now Jashawn Dubose for Andrews steps to the plate. And Jashawn is the center fielder for Andrews. Grayson Martindale is on deck. All right, here's the throw. That almost hit the batter. That was way inside. Batter got out of the way. And it's 1-0. Again, Aiden Villarreal on the mound for the Panthers tonight gave up a double to the first batter. It's 1-0, and here's the throw. A little bit high and inside. Now it's 2-0 to DuBose. Big crowd here for both Fort Stockton and Andrews. Andrews with a little bit bigger crowd, but the Panthers with a good following here tonight. I believe our JV boys were defeated 10-0 in 5 innings by the Mustangs tonight. Our softball team defeated by Andrews tonight 7-1. Here's the pitch. And that's another base. Let's see. It's going to be a base hit. Yes, it is, into left field. And that'll be a single for Jashawn Dubose. Two hits out to left field tonight. And Jeff Coates advances to third base on the play. So Andrews has runners at the corners. And Grayson Martindale steps to the plate now. Martindale is the third baseman for Andrews with Braden Williams on deck now. Grayson Martindale, the third baseman for Andrews, and they've got DuBose at first, Jeff Coates at third. With 2 base hits, a double and a single. Here's the pitch. That's a nice pitch by Villarreal. Catches the outside low corner, and it's 0-1. If Greenwood goes on to win that game over Pecos today, and they were ahead, here's a foul tip. And the count goes to 0-2 on Martindale. And by the way, DuBose was going to second, but he'll have to come back on the foul. 0-2 on Martindale. If Greenwood goes on to win that softball game today over Pecos, that would effectively eliminate the Prowlers from the playoffs. No way we could catch any of those top 4 teams because we've got a 2-game deficit to them with only 1 game remaining. That is, if Greenwood goes on to lose to Pecos today, they would all be 2 games ahead of us. So that would eliminate the Prowlers from the playoffs. And I'll tell you what, that is a base hit. And that's a single. Scores 1 run for Andrews. What happened there was the shortstop for the Panthers, Zane Natividad, was moving towards second base. And Martindale hit one right where he had been. And that turns into a base hit. 1 run scores for Andrews. Here in the bottom of the first inning, and another runner advancing to third, and Martindale is now at first. And Braden Williams stepping up to the plate, and we have not had a single out on Andrews yet. 1-0 Andrews. And Villarreal's given up a double and 2 singles here to the top of the lineup. All right, Braden Williams, the cleanup batter with runners at the corner, steps to the plate, no outs. And that one goes over the head of the batter on a wild pitch, but does not hit the batter, and it's 1-0 to Williams with Caden Mendoza on deck. This is Williams, the catcher for Andrews, the cleanup batter at the plate. Runners at the corners, nobody out. And there's a throw to first base. Runner back in time. Aiden Villarreal getting the start tonight. He's given up 3 base hits, a double, and then 2 singles. Scored 1 run for Andrews. It's 1-0 Andrews. It's 1-0 to Williams. Here's the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. 1-1 on Williams. Nice pitch by Villarreal. Caden Mendoza, the right fielder, is on deck for the Mustangs. 1-1 to the catcher, Williams. Villarreal checks that runner at third, and a swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Nice fastball there by Villarreal. Williams swinging through that one. Panthers need some outs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the throw. That one down low and outside, and it's 2-2 now on Williams. Did they call him out? Let's see. Yeah, they did. Strikeout, and Caden Mendoza steps to the plate, the right fielder. With 1 out now. Runners at the corners. Mendoza, the right fielder. Andrews on top, 1-0. And runners at the corners with 5th batter, Mendoza, the right fielder, coming up. Right-handed batter. There's another throw. Man, that was close. Now, that was a close play at first base, but the runner barely got back in time. Villarreal trying to keep that runner from stealing over to second. They almost tagged him out there. Sherry Diaz, I believe, is playing at first base tonight. And here's the pitch. And that is a stolen base for Martindale. All right. The count is 1-0 on Mendoza. Runner taking a lead off of second now. Here's the pitch, a curveball, barely misses for ball 2. Boy, that was a nice, had a lot of movement on it, but it still was a little high. 2 balls, no strikes on Mendoza, the right fielder. Here's the throw from Villarreal, ground ball taken by the third baseman. All right, there is an out recorded. The third baseman for the Panthers chased him all the way down. Nick Almendares chased him all the way down, made the tag just before he was able to score for out number 2. And rather than catch him in the hot box and throwing to his catcher and back and forth, well, he just ran him down and tagged him. And I mean, it was close, but we did make the tagged out at home plate. The Andrews coach came in to contest the call, but that is out number 2. And Andrews.
Next up for the Mustangs, shortstop, number 8, Evan Chino Munoz.
Andrews gets a fielder's choice on that last play. They've got runners at second and third on that play just a moment ago. Evan Munoz, the shortstop, stepping up to the plate. 2 outs now on the Mustangs. And here's the pitch from Villarreal. It's up high, 1 ball, no strikes. To Munoz, the shortstop, with the DH. Rocky Stevens stepping up next, or he's on deck. Runners at second and third with 2 outs now for the Mustangs. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Ground ball taken by the Fort Stockton second baseman. And that is a good play over to first for out number 3. And the Panthers avoid a huge inning by Andrews. So it's 1-0 Andrews after 1 complete. We'll be back in a moment.
Sawyer Insurance Agency has 5 locations in West Texas to serve you, including 706 West Dickinson in Fort Stockton and 1502 South Stockton Avenue in Monahans, along with offices in Pecos, Midland, and Lubbock. They offer the most complete line of commercial and personal insurance, from workers' comp, general liability, business and personal auto, commercial property, equipment, oil and gas, farm and ranch, and home insurance. Contact Clyde, Nathan, or Travis Sawyer today by calling 336-7543 or 943-9600. The Steakhouse Restaurant announces the addition of a very affordable express lunch, served Monday through Friday from 11 to 2, priced at only $7.99. It's fast and affordable with perfect portions. The lunch choices include 2 cheese enchiladas with rice and beans, 2 beef tacos with rice and beans, 2 chicken flautas with rice and beans, half a quesadilla, beef or chicken with rice and beans, a chicken breast with long green chili, rice and cucumber salad, or a half chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and cucumber salad. Come by, sample the express lunch at the Steakhouse, 1100 West Dickinson. When you need supplies in the oil field, the choice is clear. Choose Triple G Supply and Services in Fort Stockton. They have all the oil field supplies you need, including general oil field supplies, PVC pipe and fittings, hydraulic hoses, generators, safety equipment, household supplies, and much more. They also have roustabout services available. Triple G Supply and Services is right here in Fort Stockton at the west end of Dickinson at 1048 Crockett Avenue. Delivery is available to your location. Call 336-8280 for Triple G Supply and Services.
All right, as we come back to play, Jerry Diaz has grounded one on the first pitch to second base. And that was a very close play at first base, but they did get Jerry out at first on a good throw from good fielding play and a good throw. Aiden Morales, the second baseman, throws to Dalen Jeffcoats, the first baseman, for out number 1. Fort Stockton has yet to have a base hit in this game. First pitch is ball 1 to Brian Encinas for the Panthers, our DH. Here's the pitch. And they miss down low and inside. 2-0 to our DH Encinas, the 5th batter. So they've retired the first 4 batters. 1 strikeout in that mix. And here's a fly ball out to center field. That's pretty deep. Center fielder is there, though, and makes the catch. And that is 5 straight batters retired by Andrews. Nick Almendaris, the third baseman.
Number 1, third baseman, Nicholas Almendaris.
He's coming up to the plate. Andrews now with 2 outs on the Panthers here in the second. And pitcher for Andrews, Cade Adams, doing a good job tonight. But the Andrews defense doing really well. All right, Nick Almendaris, the third baseman, stepping to the plate for the Panthers. Our third baseman goes to talk to our coach in the third base coaching box. He comes out to talk to him a bit. Our Prowlers lost today 7-1 to the Andrews Lady Mustangs. Let's see if we have a final. Okay, Greenwood has defeated Pecos tonight 16-6. That is a final in softball after 6 innings. 16-4, excuse me, 16-4. So Greenwood wins, and that will put Greenwood at 5-4 in district play. And that means that the Prowlers have been eliminated from the playoffs tonight. It's too bad because the Prowlers were playing really well here lately. Won a couple of games in a row against Pecos and then Monahans, but lost today to Andrews 7-1. Our only hope today with what happened today was to beat Andrews, and we lost to Andrews by a score of 7-1 today. Our Prowler softball team did. So that means that our final regular season game for the softball team will be this Tuesday night in Fort Stockton against Greenwood. We'll be there to cover that game, and it'll be senior night. And it will be the final game of the season for the Prowlers as, again, the Prowlers eliminated from the playoff contention tonight after these scores come in. Seminole defeated Monahans tonight 2-1. Greenwood knocks off Pecos 16-4 in 6 innings. And then the Prowlers lose to Andrews tonight 7-1. So that leaves the standings very clear. The only thing is that Monahans and Greenwood are tied for 3rd place in the district. Let's see how they sort that out. That is ball 1 to Nick Almendaris, I believe. Andrews is in first place in the district at 7-2. There's a strike. It's 1-1. Andrews at 7-2. Seminole at 6-3. And then Monahans and Greenwood tied at 5-4 for for 4th place. Or 3rd place, I guess, yeah. All right, it's 2-1 now to Nick Almendares. 2 outs on the Panthers. Here's the pitch. Too high, 3-1. All right, we're in the top of the 2nd inning. Panthers have not had a base hit yet in this game. Have been retired 5 straight batters, 3 in the 1st, 2 here in the 2nd. And here's the pitch. It's a swing and a miss, and the count goes to full on Nick Almendares at 3-2 with Aiden Villarreal on deck. Here's the throw. Outside, and it's a walk given up. That's our first Panther base runner tonight on a walk given up by Cade Adams. It's Aiden Villarreal stepping to the plate. Aiden is the pitcher for the Panthers tonight. He's a senior facing Cade Adams. Now a runner aboard at first for the Panthers. That's the potential tying run as we're down 1-0 in the top of the 2nd. Here's the throw, and it's a swing and a miss. And Aiden not too close to that pitch. The pitch was outside of his swing. It's 0-1. Here's the throw, and again, a swing and a miss. It's 0-2 on Aiden Villarreal. With 2 away here in the 2nd. Runner aboard at first on a walk. That's Nick Almendares out there. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit by Aiden Villarreal. Nice job there. That's the Panthers' first base hit tonight. Aiden Villarreal knocks it right past that second baseman. He almost had his glove on it, but did not. All right, now the Panthers have runners at first and second with Nick Sotelo coming up to the plate. Aiden Villarreal, our 7th batter in the order, gets our first base hit tonight. All right, Sotelo, our left fielder, stepping to the plate now with an opportunity here with runners at first and second. And 2 outs. Top of the 2nd inning, and Andrews leading 1-0. Nick Sotelo up to the plate. Here's the pitch. That one is popped up to shallow center field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. And that'll score the tying run for Fort Stockton. Nick Almendares comes all the way home from second base to score the run, and Nick Sotelo has a blooper single out to shallow center. All right, so 2 singles in a row and a walk. Scores 1 run now for the Panthers. And that ties it up here in the top of the 2nd. Jandre Reyes now stepping up to the plate. He's the 9th batter in the order, so the bottom part of the order coming alive here tonight. There's a swing and a miss by Jandre, and it's 0-1. Nick with a walk, and he scored. That's Nick Almendares. That pitch is up high and outside, 1-1. Then a single by Aiden Villarreal out to right field, and then Nick Sotelo with a blooper out to center field, and it scores 1 run. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Reyes, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jandre. Batter number 9, and he is also the right fielder. Here's the pitch. That is a foul ball right up the first base line. M&J Fast Lube foul ball. We've had 2 base hits brought to you by M&J Trucking tonight. Aiden Villarreal and Nick Sotelo with singles in this inning. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Reyes. Here's the throw, and he struck him out. And that will do it for the Panthers, but the Panthers do bring in the tying run in the 2nd. It's 1-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Doctors Josh Pass, Brian Cherry, and Hewlin Pass are optometrists serving the West Texas area. Visit West Texas Eye Care at 605 North Main in Fort Stockton or 611 South Oak in Pecos. They offer complete and thorough eye examinations for the whole family, including therapeutic optometry, eyeglasses, contact lenses, laser surgery consultation, and screenings for macular degeneration and diabetes with an in-office lab. Call to make an appointment today in Fort Stockton at 336-3662 or in Pecos 445-3662.
At Weiss Tire Pros, they've been servicing vehicles reliably for generations. They're family owned and operated for over 35 years, and they're here to make certain your cars and trucks keep their promise to you. They're more than just tires, offering full automotive services, so they keep you focused on the road ahead. They carry all major tire brands. For whatever you drive, Weiss Tire Pros has a tire to fit your needs. With Weiss Tire Pros, they're here to help keep you safe on the road. Visit the store today in Fort Stockton. Weiss Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Alamo Tire and Auto Repair, now in their new location at 2709 West Dickinson, offers a new and unique $5 club. A low monthly membership includes so many advantages on repairing your vehicle, like a 25% discount on the postage shop hourly rate, a 12-month or 12,000-mile warranty on parts and labor on most repairs, and many services for just $5 and other services for free. Check out the $5 Club today at www.pay5dollars.com at Alamo Tire and Auto Repair, 2709 West Dickinson.
All right, we're back with more Panther baseball. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Rocky Stevens, the DH, stepping up for Andrews. First pitch was too high, ball one, and then a strike comes in from Aiden Villarreal, and it's 1-1 on the DH, Rocky Stevens. That pitch down outside and low, 2-1. I don't believe we have a pitch count on the Andrews scoreboard, but it is 2-1. Here's the pitch. That one is popped up. High fly ball. Second baseman is under it for the Panthers. Makes the catch. A shallow ball just outside the infield for out number one. A good job by the Panthers' Gama Corral to make that catch for out number one. All right, Aiden Morales steps to the plate. Batter number 8. He's the second baseman for Andrews. Facing Aiden Villarreal. Our game now tied 1-1 in the bottom of the second. And here's the throw. Outside and low. 1 ball, no strikes on Morales. Big Panther crowd here tonight, and a really big Andrews crowd. The stands are packed on the Andrews side. That pitch down too low, 2-0. You're listening to our broadcast on KFST AM 860, KFST 94.3 FM in Fort Stockton. And there's a high pitch. It's 3-0. And also on our website, KFSTradio.com, and on our YouTube page, KFST AM FM Radio. Here's the pitch. It's too high, I believe. Yeah, it's a walk given up by the Panthers. Well, Andrews gave up a walk in the previous inning, and now we give up a walk.
Number 2, Zacatec Cabrera.
Zach Cabrera steps up to the plate. The announcer just called him Zack Attack, whatever. Zach Cabrera, the left fielder, comes up to the plate for Andrews, batter number 9. Dalen Jeffcoats, back to the top of the order, is on deck, and he had a double his last time up, so need an out here. Here's the pitch. This is a pop-up to the pitcher, and a double play. Really good job there by the Fort Stockton pitcher, recording out number 2, Aiden Villarreal. Then he relays it to first base. The base runner was way off the bag, and it's a double play. All right, that will wrap it up for the bottom of the second. Our score remains 1-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Hey Panther fans, this is Rudy Franco with Amistad Motors, inviting you to come out and take a look at our pre-owned inventory. We have a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. We have several certified pre-owned units that come with an extended warranty. So if you are in the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, drive on over to 2110 West Dickinson or give us a call at 336-9000. Amistad Motors, friends serving friends. Go Blue!
When you need the best and most expert real estate agent, Angie Miles is your local professional with many years of experience. Angie is knowledgeable and keeps up with all area properties. She has over 30 years of sales experience and serves Fort Stockton and other towns like Pecos and Alpine. Angie can show any listing and can list your property right away, including residential, commercial, or farm and ranch properties, and offers property management. Contact Angie Miles today, Turnkey Realty, 804 North Main, or call 432-290-8038.
Airlawn Furniture is Fort Stockton's newest destination for furniture, appliances, mattresses, electronics, and more. They've been serving Pecos for over 30 years and look forward to doing the same for the lovely people of Fort Stockton. Enjoy free local delivery and installation, monthly specials, lease-to-own options with no credit needed. Visit them in-store at 1206 West Dickinson next to Lowe's or call 432-299-1181 or online at airlawnfurniture.com. Make the quality choice. Panther and Prowler fans, choose Airlawn. Se habla español.
All right, Zane Natividad. We're back to the top of the order for the Panthers. First pitch is right down the middle for strike one. 0-1 to Natividad, and there's a ground ball. Hit to the Andrews second baseman, and a beautiful throw from the shortstop. I should say the shortstop, not second base. And that is going to be out number one. Really nicely played there by the Andrews shortstop, Evan Munoz. Over to Dalen Jeffcoats for out number one. All right, Gama Corral now stepping to the plate. Gama struck out his last time up in the first inning. We're in inning number 3 now. Our game tied 1-1. That pitch is high and outside, 1-0. Rylan Nunez on deck. Now here's the throw. That one is a blooper into right field. Foul territory. First baseman is there to make the catch in foul territory for out number 2. And Rylan Nunez now stepping to the plate. He's a senior. He grounded out to the third baseman last time. Panthers scored 1 run in the second inning. It was a result of a walk and 2 singles. All right, here's the throw. It's going to be, I don't know if it was fouled or not, but maybe it was. It did bounce off the catcher's helmet, it looked like, but that's an M&J fast loop foul ball, we'll say. And it's 0-1 to Rylan Nunez. Here's the pitch, outside. 1-1. Andrews pitchers caught some really good strikes with those outside pitches tonight, but that one too far out. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. 2-1. That may have hit the umpire. I think it might have. Yeah, and he's hurting a little bit. Yep, that hit the umpire, so it's 2-1 to Rylan Nunez. And the Andrews pitcher, Cade Adams, with pretty good speed, so that had to hurt. 2-1 now on Rylan Nunez for Fort Stockton, the third batter in our order. We started out at the top of the order here in the third. All right, 2-1 now on Rylan Nunez, who grounded out back in the first. That pitch is down too low. 3-1 now on Nunez. Looks like Luis Dominguez is the coach in the first base box. There's a foul ball brought to you by M&J Fast Lube, and it's a full count. And our head coach, Jason Payne, is in the third base coaching box. All right, full count on Rylan Nunez. And here's the throw. Ground ball to the third baseman. He scoops it up very nicely. And that's a 3-up and 3-down inning for Andrews defensively against the Panthers. And we stay at 1-1 going to the bottom of the third. We'll be back in a moment.
Do you know where you can get a great lunch special for a very affordable price? At Bienvenidos Mexican food restaurant, of course. Their lunch special is served Monday through Friday during lunchtime. Monday is the grilled chicken salad. Tuesday is the taco plate. Wednesday it's Bienvenidos nachos. Thursday it's the hamburger basket. And Friday it's the enchilada plate. You can come by Monday through Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. for a delicious Mexican-style breakfast. Bienvenidos open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 405 West Dickinson.
From the borders of the Rio Grande, through the Badlands of New Mexico, and all across the Permian Basin, those who need quality concrete delivered on time and within budget, choose Big Bend Concrete. Whether they're pouring a slab for a commercial structure or a specialized pour in the middle of nowhere drilling site, Big Bend Concrete takes pride in getting the job done right the first time. So call 432-837-7179. Big Bend Concrete. Solid.
Hi, Dr. Boympali here. Are you ready to transform your body and feel your best? At RA Radiance Med Spa, we're more than just beauty, we're physician-led wellness. From medically supervised weight loss to energy-boosting IV therapy, we're here to support you every step of the way with personalized treatments that work. Plus, indulge in rejuvenating facials and smooth away wrinkles with Botox for a refreshed, youthful look. A healthy, more radiant you is within reach, all in one place. For more information, please call us at 432-360-0248 or visit raradiancemedspa.com.
All right, we're back now. Just like the Panthers did in the top of the third, we led off with the top of our order. So does Andrews here. There's a strike by Aiden Villarreal to Dalen Jeffcoats, their first baseman, and it's 0-1 to Jeffcoats. He had a double his last time up into left field. There's a strike called, and it's 0-2 on Jeffcoats. Nice start here for Villarreal against the top of their order. 0-2, here's the throw, and a swing and a miss. And Villarreal strikes out Jeffcoats. That is the second strikeout of the night for Villarreal. Jashawn Dubose now stepping up to the plate. He's the center fielder for Andrews and had a single his last time up. And he was the guy that was tagged out trying to make it home. And that's going to be a base hit into center field for Dubose. And a nice diving fielding play there by the Fort Stockton center fielder to get it back in quickly. And that's Rylan Nunez making a good play there, holding it to a single. All right, Grayson Martindale steps up to the plate, and he singled and had a stolen base his last time up. Runner at first now for Andrews with one out. Bottom of the third, our score tied 1-1. Here's a pop-up on the infield, and here's our first baseman catching it right there near the bag. And it's out number 2 as Martindale jumps on that first pitch and pops it up. Now it's the cleanup batter, Braden Williams, the catcher, stepping up to the plate with 2 outs. Andrews has had one single. That's their 4th base hit tonight against Villarreal. And now Williams stepping to the plate. He struck out his last time up back in the first inning. Here's Villarreal with the pitch. That one is going to be fouled out of the park, I believe, and the runner was going. That's behind the Fort Stockton dugout. It is 0-1 to Williams, and again, Dubose goes back to first. Caden Mendoza on deck. Williams, current guy at the plate, struck out back in the first. Andrews has the potential go-ahead run at first base as it's a tie game right now, 1-1. In the bottom of the third, now there's 2 outs. All right, here's Williams, the 0-1 count. And a throw over to first. This is a right-handed pitcher for the Panthers in Aiden Villarreal. All right, still waiting now on the second pitch to this batter, Williams, the catcher. Here's Villarreal with the pitch, a swing and a miss. On an inside pitch, really nice job there by Villarreal, and it's 0-2. Big crowd tonight for the Panthers and for the Mustangs. They're packed in here on the Andrews side. Hardly any place to sit. It is 0-2 to Williams. Here's the pitch. And here's the runner. He is tagged out. That's a beautiful throw by the Panthers catcher for the 3rd out. Out to the second baseman, or the shortstop, I believe, who made the tag. All right, so that will do it for Andrews here in this inning. And we'll be back with more Panther baseball in just a moment.
Buck's Lube Center is located at 310 West Dickinson in Fort Stockton. They feature quick oil changes, multi-point vehicle checks, inspection stickers, and fuel filters for all vehicles, specializing in mobile oil, but with Motorcraft also in stock. Buck's Lube Center is open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Remember, for reasonable prices and great service, it's Buck's Lube Center, 310 West Dickinson, Fort Stockton. They hope to serve you on every oil change.
Cactus Health is your one-stop health care facility. They care. They offer quality health care for you and your family, including cardiovascular disease care, cholesterol screenings, developmental screenings, diabetes care, family planning, HIV testing, and general primary medical care. Your family is their number one concern. They care. Cactus Health at 700 North Main. Call 336-8110 for information.
Your dreams are what power our community. When it comes to buying a home, starting a business, or tools to help with everyday money management, Citibank is a proud community leader for your financial needs. From personal checking and lending solutions to mobile banking and a suite of business services, our goal is to help you achieve yours. Citibank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
All right, we are back with the fourth inning now. This game moving along pretty quickly tonight with no errors committed in the ball game by either team. Good defense, good pitching. All right, here's Jerry Diaz stepping to the plate, takes a strike on the first pitch from Adams, and it's 0-1. Jerry grounded out to second base last time up. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be a long one out to left field. Let's see if they can get it, and they do. That's a long ball out to left field, but this is a big ballpark, and no chance for Jerry to get that one over the fence, but it was caught by the Andrews left fielder. Good job there by that young man, Zach Cabrera, doing a good job for out number one. So Jerry swings on that second pitch and flies it out to left for an out. Brian Encinas, the DH, now stepping up for the Panthers. And that's a ground ball hit to the second baseman for Andrews, and a perfect throw over to first base for out number two. Another good defensive play by Andrews. Aiden Morales throwing to Dalen Jeffcoats for out number two. All right, Nick Almendotta is stepping up for the Panthers, the third baseman.
Third baseman, number 1, Nicholas Almendares.
He walked back in the second inning and scored a run. Scored our only run of the ball game. Top of the fourth inning. All right, here is Andrews with the pitch. It's a strike called, 0-1 from Cade Adams. That's a good pitcher for Andrews tonight. He's allowed just 2 hits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there by Almendares. Count goes to 0-2. Not close to that pitch. A little bit. That pitch was outside of his bat. Here's the pitch. And that's down low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This Andrews pitcher likes the outside part of the plate and has gotten quite a few strikes there that were called. It's 1-2 on Almendares now. Maybe you should crowd the plate a little bit more. Here's the pitch, way outside. 2-2 now on Almendares. Again, Nick walked back in the second inning, scored our only run after a couple of singles by Aiden Villarreal and Nick Sotelo. Here's the pitch, and a slow swing and miss, and a strikeout for Adams. All right, we'll be back with the bottom of the fourth. Our score still tied at 1-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Concept Inc. is here to help you with all your oil field and residential needs. They provide licensed septic system installations, site evaluations, roll-off container rentals, and porta-potty rentals, septic tank and grease trap pump outs. Backhoe services and general construction also available. Contact Kobe Terraces at 432-290-3620. That phone number again is 432-290-3620. Concept Inc. Contessa Ready Mix is now open and ready to serve all your concrete needs. They also offer general construction, precast, material hauling, and sand and gravel. They're located at 2270 Gonzales Loop. For more information, call 432-290-4947. Contessa Ready Mix, owned and operated by Kobe Terraces, serving Fort Stockton and the surrounding area.
Are you sick and tired of inflation driving up the price on virtually everything? At CTJ Express Oil Change, we have mastered the art of inflation-proof, lightning-fast oil changes. We tell inflation to take a hike with our happy hour discounts every weekday, 11 to 1 p.m., and our service appreciation discounts for local teachers, military, first responders, and correctional officers. We're fast, too, saving you time and money. And remember, at CTG Express, we are the best for the most dependable place to get your state inspection. Come stay with us at CTG Express in Fort Stockton.
All right, we're back. Bottom of the fourth now. There's a foul ball by Andrews off of the first pitch from Aiden Villarreal. And he just kind of has a check swing, and the baseball glances off of it to the Fort Stockton dugout. It's 0-1 to Williams. Caden Mendoza on deck. Here's Villarreal with the pitch. That one fouled out as well by Williams. Back behind us, so it's 0-2 to Williams. Our Prowler softball team losing tonight 7-1 to the Andrews Lady Mustangs. And consequently, because of the other results tonight, the Prowlers eliminated from the softball playoffs. 1-2 to Williams after a low pitch. The other scores, Greenwood defeated Pecos 16-4 in 6 innings. And Seminole defeated Monahans 2-1. So Andrews now 7-2 in the district in softball. Monahans and Greenwood at 5-4. Well, Seminoles in second at 6-3. Then Monahans and Greenwood tied for third at 5-4. Fort Stockton in fifth at 3-6. And Pecos at 1-8. 2-2 the count. On Williams, here's the pitch from Villarreal. A curveball misses up high, just barely. Pretty good pitch. It's 3-2 to Williams. First batter up for Andrews here in the fourth inning. All right, here's Villarreal with the pitch, and it's outside, and it is a walk given up. And that's not good on the first batter. Sometimes those walks on the first batter come back to cost you. All right, Caden Mendoza, the right fielder, comes up to the plate. Last time up, he had a fielder's choice. By the way, we've got a courtesy runner coming in. That will be Nomar Gomez.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 5, Nomar Gomez.
All right, Nomar Gomez, the courtesy runner for Andrews' catcher here, as he got to base on a walk. All right, Caden Mendoza stepping to the plate. The right fielder for Andrews had a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Now here's Villarreal with the pitch. Man, that batter stood in there on an inside pitch, almost hit him, but it's 1-0 to Mendoza. Bottom of the fourth, our score tied at 1-1. Andrews now, though, has a runner at first with a walk with nobody out, and here's a fly ball, shallow center field. And that's a good job by Rylan Nunez to come in and catch that ball. The Panthers have committed no defensive errors tonight and had a double play with a catch by the pitcher and then a relay to first base for a double play back a little earlier. I believe that was in the second inning. All right, Evan Munoz stepping to the plate now for Andrews, the shortstop, and he grounded out back in the first inning to second base. One down now here in the bottom of the fourth. Our score tied 1-1 between Fort Stockton and Andrews. The Panthers on the road tonight to face the Mustangs. We'll be at home to face Greenwood on Tuesday, and there's a stolen base. The throw is made, but the throw is late, bobbled a little bit by the catcher. I believe it is 1-0 now to Munoz. Andrews with a runner in scoring position with one out. All right, 1-0 to Munoz, the shortstop for the Mustangs. Here's Villarreal on the mound, has done a good job tonight. Only allowed 4 hits, I believe. That pitch down a little bit low and inside. 2-0 to Munoz with Rocky Stevens, the DH, on deck. Clear skies, a temperature, well, at game time it was about 90 degrees. It's probably 88 or so now. 2-0 to Munoz. And here's the throw. Ground ball. It's in the gap. Second baseman makes the throw. Cannot get there in time. That's a base hit for Evan Munoz. There's just no way for the shortstop to have made that play. And so a single by Evan Munoz, and Andrews has runners at the corners. It's a good play, good fielding play by the Fort Stockton shortstop, Zane Natividad. He just could not get the ball back to first base in time. Perhaps we should have gone for the base runner, but going from second to third. But anyway, here we go with Rocky Stevens coming up to the plate, the DH, and he flew out to second base back in the second inning. Here's the pitch. He bunts on the infield. It's taken by the Fort Stockton pitcher, relayed to first base for the out, and we hold the runner at third base. So that's all good. Now the throw was a little high, and it brought the first baseman off the bag, but Jerry was able to get back down on the bag in time for out number 2. So what we've got is runners at second and third now. And Aiden Morales steps to the plate. Second baseman. He walked his last time up. Andrews with runners at second and third with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. They've had 1 single and a walk here. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be a line drive out to center. Rylan Nunez makes an outstanding over-the-shoulder catch for out number 3 to retire the Mustangs. What a great job by Rylan Nunez out there in center field. That will end the 4th. It's still 1-1. We'll be back in a moment.
Designer Carpets and Interiors has become known in Fort Stockton as the remodeling experts. They will be glad to put together a free estimate on just about any remodeling project, always keeping in mind your budget. They also can help with ideas and designs for your project to upgrade your home and add to its value. They also have all types of the latest and most modern flooring, including carpet, tile, hardwood, laminates, custom cabinetry, countertops, and much more. Call Designer Carpets and Interiors today at 336-6591. The First National Bank of Fort Stockton offers rock-solid banking services with a friendly staff and offers extended lobby hours. They're a full-service bank, and it's locally owned and operated, and they appreciate your business. First National Bank of Fort Stockton also operates Brave National Bank in Iran. The First National Bank is proud to support the Fort Stockton Panther and Prowler athletic teams in all their competition and say, go Panthers and Prowlers. The friendly First National Bank of Fort Stockton, 1000 West Dickinson, member FDIC.
This is Gilroy Madrid, and we're excited to kick off another incredible school year. At Fort Stockton ISD, we know that success starts with showing up. Every day and every class counts.
I'm Dr. Ken Vogel, and we want to thank our parents, families, and community for supporting not just our athletes and performers, but all students in their journey to do their best. Let's continue supporting our students and schools to ensure they thrive both in school and beyond.
Together, we can all make this a great school year.
All right, we're back. Aiden Villarreal stepping up for the Panthers here in this inning. There's a ground ball, bobbled by that first baseman a little bit, but he beats him out to first base for out number 1. Good job there by the Andrews first baseman, Dalen Jeffcoats. Bobbles it a bit, but recovers nicely and runs back to first base to make the tag on the base. Out number 1, and that was Aiden Villarreal grounding out. Nick Sotelo now stepping up to the plate for the Panthers, batter number 8. Our left fielder. First pitch, ball 1 to Sotelo. And Sotelo had one of our base hits back in the second inning. Here's the pitch. Here's a pop-up. Third baseman in foul territory. Looks for it and makes the catch. 2 easy outs there for Andrews. Okay, this game moving along pretty quickly tonight. And Jandre Reyes now stepping up to the plate. He struck out his last time up. He's our right fielder. The game's still tied at 1-1. Here's the pitch. That's a strike from Adams. 0-1 on Reyes. Our softball scores are all final. Fort Stockton was defeated by Andrews tonight, 7-1. There's a strike called. It's 0-2. And it was Greenwood over Pecos tonight in 6 innings, 16-4. And Seminole knocked off Monahans 2-1. Here's the pitch. Too low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So the updated softball standings, Andrews at 7-2. Seminole at 6-3. Monahans and Greenwood at 5-4. There's a strikeout, and that will end the inning. All right, we'll be back with more Panther baseball as we go to the 6th inning after this.
Are your insurance rates too high? At Fort Stockton Insurance, you're not stuck. We can shop within our own carriers to find the best deals. Do you know that we do more than property and auto? We do life, commercial, farm, and specialty insurance. Do you want to run on the field with the Baylor Bears? Have an Aerolite plane or a vintage vehicle? We insure all of that. Need a bond or commercial insurance? We can help you there too. This is Pam at Fort Stockton Insurance. We're located at 901 West Dickinson, or give us a call at 336-8565.
Have you tried the delicious Jalisco-style Mexican food at the Guadalajara Mexican Grill recently? Their food and service is fast and top-notch. Plus, they're now offering some additions to their huge menu, including the carnitas plate and the fantastic molcajete with beef, chicken, and shrimp. They also now have delicious chicken wings spiced with mango, habanero, buffalo, or barbecue. Top it off with your favorite adult beverages and drinks and desserts. They also have daily specials, and you can dine in or call in orders at 336-6600. The Guadalajara Mexican Grill, 200 East 19th on the Imperial Highway.
All right, we're back with more Panther baseball. Aiden Villarreal still pitching for the Panthers as we start the 5th inning already. Here's Zach Cabrera, left-handed batter, and he will fly one out to left field. Our left fielder moves a little bit to his right and makes the catch out in left field for out number 1. It's a really well-played game tonight by both teams so far, and Nick Sotelo with a great catch out there in left field for out number 1. Okay, Dalen Jeffcoats now steps to the plate. He's the first baseman for the Mustangs, and he doubled and scored back in the first inning and then struck out in the 3rd. Now facing Aiden Villarreal in the 5th inning. First pitch outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Well, we're in the bottom of the 5th. Here is a long ball. It's a home run. Home run by Andrews here in the 5th by Dalen Jeffcoats. And that puts Andrews up 2-1. All right, Dalen Jeffcoats homers over the left field fence right out near the American flag out there, and that puts Andrews up 2-1. And it's Jashawn Dubose stepping up to the plate next, and 2 singles for this young man tonight. He's gone 2 for 2. Andrews takes the lead now over the Panthers here in the bottom of the 5th inning with a home run by Jeffcoats over the left field fence. It's now 2-1 Andrews with 1 out. Dubose stepping up to the plate, who's gone 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of singles. And here's Villarreal with the pitch. A little bit high. 1-0. Hope that didn't rattle Villarreal much. The wind is blowing out toward left field, so that helped that ball a little bit. It's 1-0. Here's the pitch. Check swing. He went around. And that's 1-1 on Dubose, the center fielder for the Mustangs. Big crowd here tonight. Big Andrews crowd and a good Fort Stockton crowd as well. There's strike 2 on Dubose from Villarreal, and that caught the outside corner. It's 1-2. And here's the next throw. That's going to be foul tipped. Our catcher has to get out there, and that is a beautiful recovery on a ball that got away from the catcher. That's just fabulous by Michael Patino to get out there quickly and get that ball, which had glanced away on a foul ball. And boy, and then he throws him out at first base. So it is a strikeout, but Patino has to throw the passed ball out to first, and great recovery by Patino. All right, Grayson Martindale steps to the plate. Here's the pitch. A little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Andrews has scored the go-ahead run on a home run by Dalen Jeffcoats here in this inning. And here's the pitch. That's a strike called on the inside corner, 1-1 on Martindale. He is 1 for 2 tonight with a single and a stolen base and a fly out to first base. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Inside, 2-1 to Martindale. Our Prowlers losing tonight 7-1 to the Lady Mustangs of Andrews. And with the way and there's another high pitch, it's 3-1. And the way things turned out with the rest of the scores, that eliminates us from the playoffs in softball tonight, so that's disappointing. We will play Greenwood, our final game, on Tuesday. Here's a long ball out to left, and a beautiful catch by the Fort Stockton left fielder for out number 3. Well, Andrews takes the lead on a homer, and we'll be back in just a moment.
If you or your spouse have been thinking about pre-planning your funerals, Heritage Funeral Home of the Big Bend has some very important news. Now is the best time to plan for your eternity and take the financial burden off your loved ones. If you already have a plan, let them review it with you. At Heritage Funeral Home of the Big Bend, they'll work with you so that your final requests are personalized just for you. Call or come by today at 301 North Main or message them on Facebook.
Hernandez Sanitation in Fort Stockton proudly serves a large portion of West Texas with sanitation services, including the oil field for portable toilets, holding tanks, septic tank service, grease trap service, or large roll-off trash containers. Contact Hernandez Sanitation today by calling owner and operator Joe Angel Hernandez at 432-336-3803. Hernandez Sanitation, a proud member of the Fort Stockton community, always supporting all the athletic and extracurricular activities in Fort Stockton schools. Always a good time at Joe's Place Cantina, located in historic downtown behind the Community Theater at 216 West 1st. Enjoy their tacos, tortas, and more, served in 3 areas, including a covered patio and backyard, while listening to a wide variety of music or watching the big game, including Fort Stockton Panther games. Go Blue! Joe's Place is open Wednesdays from 8 to 12, Thursdays through Saturday from 6 to 1, with family time and happy hour only from 6 to 8 p.m. Be sure to look at their Facebook page for upcoming events and information.
All right, we're back for the 6th inning already. Just been going for about an hour and 5 minutes or so, and it's already the 6th inning. All right, Zane Natividad steps to the plate, our shortstop. He is 0 for 2 tonight. First pitch too low. 1 ball, no strikes on Natividad. Natividad, the shortstop for the Panthers, has flown out to center and grounded out to shortstop. All right, here's the throw. That's a line drive caught by the second baseman for Andrews, out number 1. Wow, Aiden Morales catches that one. Really, these two defenses have played really outstanding tonight, and the pitchers have done a good job. And consequently, we're already in the 6th, but both teams playing really well defensively. All right, Gama Corral, a senior, stepping to the plate, struck out and has flown out. Here's the pitch. It gets away from the catcher. I believe it's 1-0. With Rylan Nunez on deck, we're at the top of the order. Zane Natividad has already flown out. Now we're behind 2-1. That pitch is outside and high, 2-0. All right, Andrews on top now, 2-1 after that home run over the left field fence back in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 now. Here's the pitch. It's a strike called. It's 2-1. The home run was hit by their leadoff batter, Dalen Jeffcoats, who's had a double and a home run tonight. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Strike called. It's 2-2 on Gama Corral with Rylan Nunez on deck. Our JV boys baseball team got beat tonight 10-0 in 5 by Andrews. Here's the pitch. That one was over pretty quickly. And here's a ground ball to the second baseman for Andrews. And it's a perfect play once again for that defense. Like we said, these defenses playing great tonight. And Aiden Morales throws to Dalen Jeffcoats for out number 2. Here comes Rylan Nunez up to the plate, senior center fielder. He has grounded out twice to the third baseman tonight. He's been pretty patient at the plate. That one is fouled out of the park. And that's M&J Fastlube foul ball. We have not had any base hits since the second when we scored that one run. Been shut out. We've been, in fact, 3 up and 3 down 3 times now. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. So, boy, this Cade Adams really getting into a rhythm here, pitching, and his defense backing him up. It's 0-2. Here's the throw. Too high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs on the Panthers here in the 6th. And here's the throw. It catches the outside corner for the strikeout, and that was a great pitch. All right, we'll go to the bottom of the 6th with Andrews leading 2-1 over the Panthers. We'll be back in a moment.
Julie's Easy Press Cleaners is ready to serve you with all your laundry cleaning needs. From drop-off to pickup, you'll enjoy not having to do the washing, drying, or pressing. It's done for you. Whether it's a party, office meeting, or lunch with friends, show up dressed for success. Because at Julie's Easy Press, they know when you look good, you feel good. Julie's Easy Press, 1101 North Front Street, or call 336-6601. Hey, Fort Stockton. Hungry for a deal that satisfies every craving? K-Bob Steakhouse has you covered with a 2 for $20 meal deal. That's right, choose a starter like crispy potato skins, cheesy quesadilla or zesty fried pickles, and pair it with an entree. The juicy 6-ounce sirloin, crispy catfish platter, or maybe the hearty chicken fried steak. The choice is yours. Your entree also comes with your choice of sides, baked potato fries, or green beans, all for $20. So grab your friends, family, or come solo and treat yourself at K-Bob Steakhouse in Fort Stockton. Come by today.
All right, both pitchers still working in this game. We've had no substitutions on the mound tonight, and Aiden Villarreal will come back to pitch again here in the 6th. And Braden Williams stepping up to the plate. He has struck out and walked tonight. This is their cleanup batter, batting first here in the 6th. And here's Villarreal with the pitch. A wild pitch goes outside and low and gets away from the catcher. It's 1-0. And here's the throw. There's a strike called. It's 1-1. Difference in this game right now is that solo home run by Dalen Jeffcoats over the left field fence in the 5th, making it 2-1 Andrews. Oh, there's a long ball, but it's foul down the third base side, and the count goes to 1-2 on Williams. Caden Mendoza on deck for Andrews. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning already. Fort Stockton will have one more chance at bat. There's a foul ball down the third base side. 1-2. It's hard to believe this game has gone along so quickly tonight, but good defense, good pitching has it's a really clean game. All right, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Williams. Andrews has out-hit us tonight. Looks like 6-2. There's a ground ball up the middle. Second baseman cannot make the play. Well, it was right up the middle. Second baseman got it and got it over to first as quickly as he could. But it is a leadoff single for Andrews. It's a nice play by the Fort Stockton second baseman, Gama Corral, and just couldn't quite get the relay throw back over to first in time. And there's a courtesy runner coming also out to the bases, and that's Nomar Gomez, the courtesy runner for Braden Williams, the catcher for the Mustangs. All right, Caden Mendoza now comes to the plate for Andrews, and there's a little infield meeting of the Panthers. Looks like, yeah, we do have one of our coaches out there to talk to the guys at the mound. All right, the coach for the Panthers now goes off the field. I think that's the pitching coach. All right, Caden Mendoza stepping up to the plate now. There's a leadoff single for Andrews. And no outs in the bottom of the 6th. Aiden Villarreal pitching. And that one is fouled out of the park. Count goes to 0-1 on Mendoza. Andrews leading here 2-1. They had that solo homer back in the 5th inning. They scored also 1 run in the 1st and then the other in the fifth, to give them a 2-1 lead. Here's the pitch up high, and there's a throw by Patino out to first to Diaz, and the runner back in time. It's a 1-1 count on Mendoza, the right fielder. Munoz on deck for Andrews. No outs here in the bottom of the sixth. That pitch is up high. 2-1 now on Mendoza. But Aiden Villarreal has pitched well tonight. He has given up now 7 hits in the ball game and 2 runs. Here's the pitch. Oh, that gets away from the catcher. Glances off the catcher on a low ball. It's 3-1, and the runner takes second base on the wild pitch. All right, 3-1 now to Mendoza, who is 0 for 2 tonight with a fielder's choice and a fly out to center. 3-1. Here's the throw. Oh, ground ball right up the middle, and it will be snagged by the second baseman, but that is a base hit, and here comes a runner home for the Mustangs. And they're going to call the runner safe at second base. That looked like an out at second base, but they did not call it that way. That is a single by Mendoza. And 1 run scores for Andrews. Now that would be really the first error there for the Panthers. On the throw back to first base, it was an errant throw, which allows an extra base. And we've got a change in pitching here for the Panthers, so we'll take a break. It is now 3-1. Andrews in the lead. We'll be back in just a moment.
M&J Trucking Services supports our Fort Stockton Panther and Prowler athletic teams and wants you to know that there's a locally owned and operated oilfield trucking company that can handle your vacuum truck and water hauling in the surrounding area. It's M&J Trucking in Fort Stockton, offering 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week vacuum truck and water hauling service. Contact M&J Trucking today at 290-4510. M&J Trucking, owned and operated by Martin Ibarra, proudly supporting the Fort Stockton Panthers and Prowlers. Need a quick, efficient oil change? M&J Fast Lube at 116 West Dickinson is here to serve you. Martine and Julia Ibarra invite you to stop by. They have great service, and they offer auto oil and lube services with the top major oil brands. They also offer state inspections and vehicle washing and cleaning, or you can get your vehicle completely detailed. It'll look like you just bought it. That's M&J Fast Lube, 116 West Dickinson, supporting Panther and Prowler sports. Go Blue.
All right, we are back with more Panther baseball. We've got a change at pitcher, and I believe it's a direct switch between first base and pitcher as Jerry Diaz comes in to pitch, and Aiden Villarreal goes to first base. Evan Munoz stepping up to the plate now for Andrews in the bottom of the sixth with no outs and a runner at second. There's a foul ball. Back against the screen. It's 0-1 on Munoz with Rocky Stevens, the DH, on deck. Andrews now with a 2-run lead, 3-1 here in the bottom of the sixth as they scored a run on 2 singles and an error. That pitch, man, almost hit the batter. And so it's now 1-1 on Munoz, the shortstop. He is 1 for 2 tonight with a single. Here's the pitch. And that one is fouled against the screen. It's now 1-2 on Munoz. Jerry Diaz, a left-handed pitcher, to replace Aiden Villarreal, who is a right-hander. 1-2, and that one is going to be a pop-up to second base, and it is caught for out number 1. And the runner, Mendoza, goes back to second in time to avoid the double play, but Gama Corral with a nice play for out number 1. And now Rocky Stevens, the DH, stepping up to the plate. He is 0 for 2 tonight. A fly out to second base and a ground out to the pitcher. Here's the pitch. Grounder to the pitcher, and that will be a throw by Diaz over to first base for out number 2. And that's Diaz to Villarreal. Aiden Morales now stepping to the plate for Andrews. So Jerry Diaz gets 2 good defensive plays to get the first 2 outs here in the 6th. And there's a runner now all the way at third base. It's 3-1 Andrews. They've scored 1 run here in the 6th. Here's the pitch by Diaz. That was popped up in foul territory and goes to 0-1 on Morales, the second baseman, who has walked and flown out to center tonight. Zach Cabrera on deck for the Mustangs. Andrews on top 3-1, bottom of the 6th inning. Panthers will have just one more chance at bat. That one popped up out of the park, and the count goes to 0-2 on Morales. We've got 2 outs on Andrews here in the 6th. Zach Cabrera on deck. Andrews is tied for the lead in the district standings at 5-2. And here's the pitch. That one popped up again out of the park by Morales. Still 0-2. The district baseball standings, Greenwood, Seminole, and Andrews all at 5-2. Fort Stockton at 3-4, Pecos at 2-5, and Monahans at 1-6. And here's the pitch. That one fouled against the screen. It's still 0-2. Let's see if we can update you on a few scores. Seminole is beating Monahans 4-0 after 3, and it's Greenwood 9-0 over Pecos after 2 innings. We've got all the finals in softball tonight. Andrews defeated Fort Stockton in softball 7-1, and Greenwood over Pecos 16-4 in 6 innings, and Seminole over Monahans 2-1. 0-2, the pitch. Too high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jerry Diaz facing his 3rd batter in relief of Aiden Villarreal. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the throw. That is a strikeout, I believe. If that was the strike, then that was a strikeout. The umpire had the wrong count. Yeah, and that is a strikeout to end the inning, and it is now 3-1 going into the 7th. We'll be back in a moment.
The Pecos County State Bank has been serving Fort Stockton, Pecos County, and the surrounding area since 1926 with local, customer-friendly banking services. They also have branches in Sanderson, Sierra Blanca, and Van Horn. The Pecos County State Bank is proud to support the Fort Stockton Panther and Prowler sports teams by sponsoring sports broadcasts on KFST and sponsoring video streaming services with the radio broadcast on YouTube. Go Panthers and Prowlers from the Pecos County State Bank. All the bank you'll ever need. Member FDIC.
Permian Basin Abstract Company is located at 600 West Dickinson and is available to handle all your real estate closings. They have a full-service title company and are experts at handling all the tricky parts of title work. Great customer service is their #1 goal with local manager Penny McKnight. Permian Basin Abstract has locations in Andrews, Seminole, Pecos, and the local office in Fort Stockton to serve all area West Texas counties and have all records available. Call 432-336-3301 or go by Permian Basin Abstract, corner of Monahans Highway and Dickinson Boulevard.
All right, it's the Panthers' last chance already here in this game. We've been going for about an hour and 20 minutes, and we're already in the top of the 7th inning. And here comes Jerry Diaz up to the plate, our cleanup batter, who is now our pitcher. He's gone 0 for 2 tonight against Adams with a grounder to second base and then a fly out to left field. Big ballpark. And that one is fouled out by Jerry, and it's an M&J fast salute foul ball. We have been shut down, 3 up and 3 down in 4 straight innings in this game after we scored 1 run in the 2nd. And here's the pitch. Up high, 1 ball, 1 strike. But the Panthers have played well tonight. Only 1 error. That was on a wide throw to first. And here's next pitch, inside and low. 2-1 to Diaz. Diaz can certainly launch one out of here. He's got the power to do that. And the wind is blowing out to left. It's 2-1. Here's the pitch. It's a swing and a miss. Count goes to 2-2 on Diaz. Cade Adams pitching really well for Andrews tonight. has allowed just 2 hits. And here's the pitch. That's going to be a base hit by Jerry into center field, and that will roll a long way, and it gets away from the center fielder a little bit, and that's going to be a double for Jerry Diaz. A nice one right up the middle, and that's a good way to start the 7th, down by 2 runs. Okay, Brian Encinas, the DH for the Panthers, now comes up to the plate. He has flown out to center and grounded out to second in the 4th inning, so he's 0 for 2. Has a runner in scoring position now at second base with nobody out in the top of the 7th. We're down 3-1. There's a strike called on Encinas. 0-1. Cade Adams pitching for Andrews tonight. Here's the throw. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Encinas with Nick Almendares on deck. All right, here's Adams with the throw. That one fouled out. Count it 1-2 on an M&J Fast Loop foul ball. We had an M&J Trucking Company base hit by Jerry Diaz, first one we've had since the 2nd inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Andrews on top 3-1, top of the 7th. Here's the throw. That is a strikeout on Encinas. This is a great pitch by Cade Adams, really was. He's pitched a heck of a game. It's a good pitcher for Andrews. All right, Nick Almendares steps up for the Mustangs. And for Fort Stockton, rather. He walked and scored in the 2nd inning. He's got our only run, and then he struck out in the 4th. And the catcher and the coach want to talk to Adams. We've got a runner at second base, and that is Jerry Diaz. Have we got a new pitcher coming in? I believe we do. Yeah, we got a change in pitching for Andrews after Adams has pitched so well. We'll be back in just a moment.
At Ram Country Fort Stockton, we have master certified techs, extended service hours, huge service capacity for your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. It all adds up to same-day service. Get it fixed right. Get it fixed quick. Ram Country's got a huge inventory of parts and certified technicians to get you back on the road. No games, no gimmicks, just same-day service. Plus, no wait time, no appointment necessary. Drive out today or visit RamCountryFortStockton.com.
If you're needing personal attention to your medical needs, visit Salceda Urgent Care and Family Medicine in Fort Stockton at 703 North Main. They can help with life's little urgencies that cannot wait for an appointment. They provide urgent care, hormone optimization for men and women, vitamin supplements, family medicine, chronic care for all ages, including cholesterol treatment, blood pressure, diabetes, thyroid optimization, and treat many other conditions. Call for appointments 360-3029. Walk-ins are welcome at 703 North Main. Sawyer Insurance Agency has 5 locations in West Texas to serve you, including 706 West Dickinson in Fort Stockton and 1502 South Stockton Avenue in Monahans, along with offices in Pecos, Midland, and Lubbock. They offer the most complete line of commercial and personal insurance from workers' comp, general liability, business and personal auto, commercial property, equipment, oil and gas, farm and ranch, and home insurance. Contact Clyde, Nathan, or Travis Sawyer today by calling 336-7543 or 943-9600. All right, Andrews has brought in a pitcher to get the save here in this game. To try to get the save, it's Colt Iveson coming in to pitch for the Mustangs. With 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning, Fort Stockton has a runner at second base. That's Jerry Diaz, who got a leadoff double, and he's at second. And then Encinas for Fort Stockton struck out against Cade Adams. But, boy, Adams was pitching great. But they have brought in a closer here for Andrews. Colt Iveson, his name. And comes in with 1 out here in the 7th. All right, Nick Almendares stepping to the plate for the Panthers to face this new pitcher. And he has walked and scored tonight, scored the only run for us, and then he struck out in the 4th. 3-1 our score. Andrews has out-hit us 8-3 in this game. And they lead it 3-1. All right, here's the pitch now from the new pitcher, Iveson.
And a strike call. 0-1. Oh, here's a runner going to third, and he is out. So Jerry Diaz is tagged out, going to third base on the play. That's out number 2. Well, that's too bad. Jerry Diaz tagged out, going to third. And the count, I think, at 0-1 on Almendares. We'll see. Now, here's the throw from Iverson. It is too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 away now on Fort Stockton. Andrews only needs 1 more out to close this one out and get the win. And the pitch. It's too high from Iverson, 2-1. They got it tagged out with Jerry trying to make it to third base after a leadoff double. We risked it and got caught. Here's the pitch. Down low and outside, 3-1 now on Almendares. Aiden Villarreal on deck. Well, again, we've got 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Got to score 2 runs or the game is over. Here's the throw. Right down the middle for strike 2. It's a full count on Almendares. Colt Iverson, the relief pitcher, trying to get the save. They got it tagged out at third a moment ago. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. Second baseman scoops it up. And that will do it for the Mustangs. They get the win over the Panthers tonight. And they only allow 1 run, which we scored in the second. And Andrews wins it 3-1 over the Panthers here tonight. Andrews improves to 6-2 now in district play. The Panthers drop to 3-5. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up the ball game for you after these words.
The Steakhouse Restaurant announces the addition of a very affordable express lunch, served Monday through Friday from 11 to 2, priced at only $7.99. It's fast and affordable with perfect portions. The lunch choices include 2 cheese enchiladas with rice and beans, 2 beef tacos with rice and beans, 2 chicken flautas with rice and beans, half a quesadilla, beef or chicken with rice and beans, a chicken breast with long green chili, rice and cucumber salad, or a half chicken fried steak with mashed potatoes and cucumber salad. Come by, sample the express lunch at the Steakhouse, 1100 West Dickinson. When you need supplies in the oil field, the choice is clear. Choose Triple G Supply and Services in Fort Stockton. They have all the oil field supplies you need, including general oil field supplies, PVC pipe and fittings, hydraulic hoses, generators, safety equipment, household supplies, and much more. They also have roustabout services available. Triple G Supply and Services is right here in Fort Stockton at the west end of Dickinson at 1048 Crockett Avenue. Delivery is available to your location. Call 336-8280 for Triple G Supply and Services. Doctors Josh Pass, Brian Cherry, and Hewlin Pass are optometrists serving the West Texas area. Visit West Texas Eye Care at 605 North Main in Fort Stockton or 611 South Oak in Pecos. They offer complete and thorough eye examinations for the whole family, including therapeutic optometry, eyeglasses, contact lenses, laser surgery consultation, and screenings for macular degeneration and diabetes with an in-office lab. Call to make an appointment today in Fort Stockton at 336-3662 or in Pecos 445-3662.
At Weiss Tire Pros, they've been servicing vehicles reliably for generations. They're family owned and operated for over 35 years, and they're here to make certain your cars and trucks keep their promise to you. They're more than just tires, offering full automotive services, so they keep you focused on the road ahead. They carry all major tire brands. For whatever you drive, Weiss Tire Pros has a tire to fit your needs. With Weiss Tire Pros, they're here to help keep you safe on the road. Visit the store today in Fort Stockton. Weiss Tire Pros. Love the drive.
All right, we're here to wrap up the ball game for you as the Panthers lose here tonight 3-1 to the Andrews Mustangs. And the Panthers are going to drop now to 3-5 in district play while Andrews improves to 6-2. And Greenwood was absolutely running away with the game against Pecos. They were ahead of Pecos 16-0 after 2 innings. Greenwood, a very dangerous team. And Seminole is leading Monahans 8-0 after 4 innings. Here it's a final. Andrews, in a fast game tonight, has defeated the Panthers by a score of 3-1. All right, for the Panthers, let's see. First of all, for Andrews, 3 runs on 8 hits. They commit no errors in the ballgame, leave 5 on base. The Panthers 1 run on 3 hits. We commit 1 error and leave 2 on base. Gerardo Diaz, Jerry Diaz had a double tonight, going 1 for 3. Aiden Villarreal with a single, going 1 for 2. Nick Sotelo with a single, going 1 for 2. And those are the only hits we had tonight. So that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Again, Andrews defeats the Panthers 3-1, and our Prowlers lose tonight 7-1 to the Andrews Lady Mustangs, and the Prowlers consequently eliminated from playoff contention after that loss tonight and the other scores that came through tonight. And that's going to wrap it up. I'm Ken Ripley, now returning you to KFST.
You've been listening to Fort Stockton High School Panther Baseball on KFST, AM and FM, KFSTradio.com, and KFST's YouTube page. Panther Baseball has been brought to you by Alamo Tire and Auto Repair, Angie Miles at Turnkey Realty, Airlawn Furniture, Appliance, and Outdoor, Amistad Motors, Bienvenidos Mexican Food Restaurant, Big Ben Concrete, RA Radiance Med Spa, Bucks Loop Center, Cactus Health Services, Citibank, Concept Inc., Contessa Ready Mix, CTG Express, Designer Carpets and Interiors, the First National Bank, by Fort Stockton ISD, Fort Stockton Insurance Agency, the Guadalajara Mexican Grill, Heritage Funeral Home, Hernandez Sanitation, Joe's Place and Cantina, Julie's Easy Press, K-Bob Steakhouse, M&J Trucking, M&J Fast Lube, Pecos County State Bank, Permian Basin Abstract, Ram Country of Fort Stockton, Salcedo Family Medicine and Urgent Care, Sawyer Insurance Agency, the Steakhouse Restaurant, by Triple G Oilfield Supply, West Texas Eye Care, and by Weiss Tire Pros. Thanks for tuning in for